Here are some reasons that might come up in your head as to why maybe you shouldn't get started in karate. And we're gonna one by one annihilate these like they were boards on a black belt test. Number one, let's talk about time.
Yes. So time, a lot of people say, hey, I don't have the time to train. Here's what we gotta say. First of all, I wanna let you know that it is completely okay to train martial arts once a week. We recommend twice a week, but it's okay if you can come once a week. We say we'd rather have a student come half the time with twice the intensity than twice the time with half the intensity. I would also say though that a lot of people make time for what's important, and all of our students have a very hectic, they have a very busy schedule. Most of our students do. But once they realize the importance of our classes, they realize the life skills that they're learning, they make time to come to class once or twice a week. Make time being the key phrase there.
Yes, and I had to think of a student who their kids do everything under the sun. And she said many a times that karate was the best thing that she's ever gotten her kids started in as well.
That's amazing.
I know another thing that could come up is money, right? We've talked about how the cost of earning a black belt includes the financial commitment. Right. You've talked about how our parents made you at a very young age pay for your black belt program, and how that has obviously paid off, for you. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of different things that we can invest in. But when we invest in ourselves, they say that's the biggest ROI, return on investment, is the money that you put into yourself. So you are paying for a high-level program, high-level instructors. There is definitely the financial consideration. What else would you say about that?
I would just say that the money a lot of times is a concern, but I don't know if it's the biggest concern, because money you can earn back. I think sometimes going back to that time commitment, sometimes that's the biggest concern. But when it comes to the money, I think you just have to realize that this is an investment that will appreciate over time. This is something, when you become a black belt, when you become a martial artist, it's not something that anybody can ever take away from you. It is literally an investment for your life. And that's, when you think about it that way, I think it puts things in perspective a little bit.
Another consideration might just be the commitment level. Well, this is a big commitment. I don't know if this is something that we can commit to. And one thing I would say about that is simply that some families are gonna take longer to get to the black belt, right? If you need to take a little bit of time and be flexible, I think the end result is what's key. You gotta make sure you're committed to that outcome. And then anything in life worth achieving is worth putting the time in to make happen as well. There's definitely the time consideration.
Yes. Nothing great, whether it's a great relationship, a great business, was ever accomplished without a level of commitment. Commitment is, in essence, a sort of a way to say you burn the boats, you move forward, you do it no matter what. You say yes and you figure it out later. Those are other ways to describe the commitment. And I think you have to first decide, for you and for your family, do we get the value? Are we winning if we do this? Is this something that would be a win for our family? Once you make that decision, if you see the value, you can say yes and figure out later. You can say, yes, we're gonna do it. We'll figure out the time. We'll figure out the commitment. But first you've got to see, hey, how will this benefit me? And maybe that's a question you should answer with your family. How will this benefit our family? What change? What difference? How will this change our lives?
What about the question, hey, I'm doing karate for 3 years. What if I get bored? Like, is it the same thing? Absolutely not. You are constantly moving up. You're learning new things. You're moving to a new class. There's never a time where you're going to be stuck. And UpLevel's done a good job of taking the traditional elements of martial arts, but teaching it in a modern,
eclectic, fun way.
Approach where it's fun, it's fast-paced, it's high-moving. You're not going to be bored. We have a lot of fun stuff for you to do. One more thing about commitment is the instructors are committed. This is our life's work. We're here, and we've committed to you. But at the same time, we need that commitment from you guys in order to have that successful relationship where we both feel good moving forward. So even though that might be something that is hard to take that step and jump in, that's an important part of you reaching your goals, is to say, yes, we're gonna do this, whatever comes along the way.
We look forward to you making the commitment with us to become a black belt.